Hi, friends. We are back with part 5 of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. We left off on Greg's campaign posters. Monday. I brought my posters into school today, and I have to say, they came out pretty good. Do you want Marty Porter to be your treasurer? Hey, you're dropping all our money, you fool. Darr. Remember in second grade how Marty Porter had head lice? Do you really want him touching your money? Ah. Greg, that is not very nice. I started hanging my posters up as soon as I got in, but they were only up for about 3 minutes before Vice Principal Roy spotted them. Mr. Roy said you weren't allowed to write fabrications about other candidates. So I told Mr. Roy that the thing about the head lice was true and how it practically closed down the whole school when it happened. But he took down all my posters anyway, so today Marty Porter was going around handing out lollipops to buy himself votes while my posters were sitting at the bottom of Mr. Roy's trash can. I guess this means my political career is officially over. October. Well, it's finally October, and there are only 30 days left until Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday, even though Mom says I'm getting too old to go trick-or-treating anymore. Halloween is Dad's favorite holiday, too, but for a different reason. On Halloween night, while all the other parents are handing out candy, Dad is hiding in the bushes with a big trash can full of water. And if any teenagers pass by our driveway, he drenches them. I'm not sure Dad really understands the concept of Halloween, but I'm not gonna be the one who spoils his fun. Trick or treat, haha. Yeah, he doesn't get it. Tonight was the opening night of the Crossland High School haunted house, and I got Mom to agree to take me and Rowley. Rowley showed up at my house wearing his Halloween costume from last year. When I called him earlier, I told him just to wear regular clothes, but of course, he didn't listen. Looks like he's like Superman. I try not to let it bother me too much, though. I've never been allowed to go to the Crossland haunted house before, and I wasn't going to let Rowley ruin it for me. Roderick has told me all about it, and I've been looking forward to this for about 3 years. Anyway, when we got to the entrance, I started having second thoughts about going in. Good evening. But Mom seemed like she was in a hurry to get this over with, and she moved us along. Once we were through the gate, it was one scare after another. There were vampires jumping out at you and people without heads and all sorts of crazy stuff. But the worst part was this area called Chainsaw Alley. There was this real big guy in a hockey mask, and he had a real chainsaw. Roderick told me that the chainsaw had a rubber blade, but I wasn't taking any chances. Right when it looked like the chainsaw guy was going to catch us, Mom stepped in and bailed us out. That's not nice. I'm sorry, ma'am. Mom made the chainsaw guy show us where the exit was, and that was the end of our haunted house experience right there. I guess it was a little embarrassing when Mom did that, but I'm willing to let it go this one time. Saturday. The Crossland haunted house really got me thinking. Those guys were charging $5 a pop, and the line stretched halfway around the school. I decided to make a haunted house of my own. Actually, I had to bring Rowley in on the deal because Mom wouldn't let me convert our first floor into a full-out haunted mansion. I knew Rowley's dad wouldn't be crazy about the idea either, so we decided to build the haunted house in his basement and just not mention it to his parents. Me and Rowley spent most of the day coming up with an awesome plan for a haunted house. Here was our final plan. So, you have the hallway of screams, lake of blood, bottomless pit, maze of 1,000 skulls, rat tunnel, death slide, acid lake, knife alley, hand hall, exit. It's pretty scary. I didn't mean to brag or anything, but what we came up was way better than the Crossland High School haunted house. We realized we were going to need to get the word out that we were doing this thing, so we got some paper and made up a bunch of flyers. I'll admit, maybe we stretched the truth a little in our advertisement, but we just had to make sure people actually showed up. Haunted house with live sharks. I think they stretched the truth a lot of it. 32 Surrey Street, admission is 50 cents, 3 p.m. By the time we finished putting the flyers up around the neighborhood and got back to Riley's basement, it was already 2:30, and we hadn't even started putting the actual haunted house together yet. So we had to cut some corners from our original plan. When 3 rolled around, we looked outside to see if anyone had showed up, and sure enough, there were about 20 neighborhood kids waiting in line outside Riley's basement. Now, I know our flyers said admission was 50 cents, but I could see that we had a chance to make a killing here. So I told the kids that admission was just $2 and the 50-cent thing was a typo. The first kid to cough up his own $2 was Shane Snella. He paid his money and we let him inside, and me and Riley took our positions in the Hall of Screams. The Hall of Screams was basically a bed with me and Riley on either side of it. So they're scaring him. I guess maybe we made the Hall of Screams a little too scary because halfway through, Shane curled up in a ball underneath the bed. We tried to get him to crawl out from under there, but he wouldn't budge. I started thinking about all the money we were losing with this kid clogging up the Hall of Screams, and I knew we had to get him out there quick. Eventually, Riley's dad came downstairs. At first, I was happy to see him because I thought he could help us drag Shane out from under the bed and get our haunted house cracking again. But Riley's dad wasn't really in a helpful mood. He looks pretty grumpy. Riley's dad wanted to know what we were doing and why Shane Snella was curled up under the bed. We told him that the basement was a haunted house and that Shane Snella actually paid for us to do this to him, but Riley's dad didn't believe us. I admit that if you looked around, it didn't really look like a haunted house. All we had the time to put together was the Hall of Screams and the Lake of Blood, which was just Riley's old baby pool with half a bottle of ketchup in it. I tried to show Riley's dad our original plan to prove that we really were running a legitimate operation, but he still didn't seem convinced. And to make a long story short, that was the end of our haunted house. The good news is, since Riley's dad didn't believe us, he didn't make us refund Shane's money, so at least we cleared $2 for today. Alright, and next time we will find out what kind of shenanigans they get into on Sunday. See you guys then.